There have been plenty of storylines heading into Week 5 that NFL fans certainly didn't anticipate before the season began, but there's three specific ones that are currently worth mentioning. First one involves the Philadelphia Eagles and their tush push, aka the brotherly shove. This modified version of the QB sneak has sparked debates across the league, with some people calling for it to be banned because it is so overpowered. Another storyline involves a certain someone who has the league wrapped around her finger, but the NFL does a good job at shoving this one down our throats every chance they get, so I'll just move on to number 3, which is not only a hot topic of conversation, but one of the most inspirational stories in sports right now: Puka Nacua. Unless you were a fan of one of his college teams, odds are you didn't know who this guy was before the 2023 draft. Honestly, even after he was drafted in the 5th round, he was still a complete no-name to most NFL fans. But just 4 games into his career, the 22-year-old has gone from a no-name to one of the biggest names in the entire league, breaking receiving records left and right, and catapulting himself into the conversation for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Everyone loves a good underdog story, a player who defied the odds, and so far in this young NFL season, that player is Puka Nacua. But who is he exactly? Why did every other team in the NFL pass on him in the draft? And how did he get to this point? We'll answer all of these questions in this video, but before I get into it, welcome to the War Room, a channel where I discuss all things baseball and football related. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight to it. On May 29, 2001, in Provo, Utah, Puka Nacua was born. Due to his appearance as a baby, he quickly earned the nickname Puka, which translates to fat and chubby in Samoan. He has 5 other siblings, 4 brothers and 1 sister, who all share a love for football, which stems from their father, Lionel. Puka's mother, Panina, said, quote, "I think that my husband planted the seeds in Puka at 9, 10, 11 years old. Because while most kids are eating Fruity Pebbles and watching SpongeBob cartoons or the Disney Channel, Puka never did any of that. He would watch ESPN. He'd watch all the football and basketball highlights, because my husband planted the seeds already with Puka." Unfortunately, Mr. Nacua passed away when Puka was just 12 years old, but he used what his father taught him to become the best player he could possibly be. He attended Orem High School, where he played basketball and, of course, football. In his 2015 freshman season, like most players, his numbers weren't too crazy, recording 23 catches for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns in 9 games played. Unless you're some freak of nature, freshmen don't typically get as much playing time as upperclassmen, but as you get older and more experienced, you get more opportunities. One thing about Nacua that you'll quickly notice throughout this video is he made the absolute most of his opportunities every single time. In his 11 games played during his sophomore year, his numbers increased across the board, as he caught more than twice the amount of passes and touchdowns than the year prior, while nearly quadrupling his receiving yards, as he was just shy of the 1,000 mark. In this season, Puka had just 4 games where he had less than 100 receiving yards, but he also had 4 games where he put up over 160. At this point, he was already the star of his team, with still 2 more years of high school ball left. Locally, he was making a name for himself, but his junior year is where he took his game to the next level. In 12 games, he caught 87 passes for just under 1,700 yards and 24 touchdowns. He caught at least 1 touchdown in every game he played, and had 2 games where he recorded over 200 receiving yards. These numbers led Orem to a 12-2 record, where they were ranked as the 4th best team in the state of Utah, and won the state championship for the first time in 23 years. And luckily for them, the best of Nacua was still yet to come. Most future NFL stars, or stars in any sport for that matter, have at least one high school season where they put up ridiculous video game numbers. For Puka, that was his senior year, because in 14 games that season, he caught 103 passes, including 26 touchdowns for 2,336 yards, meaning for the 2018 high school football season, he not only had the most receiving yards for a player in Utah, but the most for any player in the entire country. Along with Puka's personal achievements, he was also the main factor in Orem's 2nd consecutive state championship victory. As expected, these numbers gave him a plethora of awards, honors, and accolades that he could add to his career resume, including Gatorade Player of the Year, Mr. Football 2018, and he was even recognized by the Polynesian Hall of Fame as the 2018 Player of the Year, as he was co-winner along with Tua Tagovailoa. He graduated from Orem as the state record holder in single-season receiving yards, career receptions, career touchdown receptions, total receiving yards in a game, receiving yards per game, and season touchdown receptions. Simply put, 2018 was a good year for Puka Nacua. He headed into college recruiting as a 4-star recruit, the #1 recruit from Utah, and the 8th best receiver nationally. He originally committed to play college football at USC, but eventually changed his mind and decided to play at Washington. In his freshman season, he started just 3 games, where he caught a total of 7 passes, before breaking his foot, which sidelined him for the rest of the year. In his sophomore season, again just 3 games, he caught 9 passes, and that was all she wrote for his Washington tenure. Just 16 catches for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns over the course of 2 years. Following the 2020 season, he decided to transfer to BYU. This gave him the chance to not only get more playing time, but he was back in his hometown of Provo, while playing alongside his older brother Samson, who transferred from the University of Utah to BYU for his senior season. This proved to be the correct decision, as he once again showed what he can do given the opportunity. In 12 games, he caught 43 passes for 805 yards and 5 touchdowns, along with 148 rushing yards. Then, in his final college season, he was solid once again, as he had 5 receiving touchdowns to go along with 5 rushing touchdowns, and tallied 834 yards from scrimmage. Given how dominant Puka was in high school, some might consider his college career to be a tad underwhelming. His first 2 seasons were pretty much wasted at Washington, but he did show glimpses of NFL talent in his 2 years at BYU. Puka's history with injuries plus his college numbers overall were 2 very big reasons why NFL teams didn't want to take a chance on him early in the draft. In an interview with Deseret News, BYU's offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick recalled a conversation with NFL scouts where he said, quote, "He's going to be faster than you think, and he's so versatile and so smart that he'll have no trouble learning the offense. He'll be ready to play in game 1. There was only one thing I couldn't vouch for. He had some injury trouble and missed games every year. That was my one caveat. If he can stay healthy, he's a really good player." Puka didn't exactly wow the scouts at the NFL Combine either. He had a 5.8 prospect ranking, which the NFL projects to be an average backup or special teamer. He had an athleticism score of 53, ranking him 47th amongst receivers at the Combine. NFL analyst Lance Zierlein said in his overview, quote, "Nacua is an athletic wideout, lacking the twitch or speed to attack NFL man coverage at a successful rate. However, the ball skills and competitive nature he brings to the field give him a fighting chance to make a roster. For his weaknesses, Zierlein said he'll struggle to elude NFL press coverage. He lacks instant acceleration to separate, and upright route running makes him easy to redirect." Fast forward to the 2023 draft, and Puka Nacua was selected 177th overall in the 5th round by the LA Rams. In just 1 preseason game he played with the team, he caught 3 passes for 32 yards and a touchdown. Head coach Sean McVay had high praise for Nacua after this game, saying, quote, "He's doing a great job. I'm a huge fan of his." Rams star wide receiver Cooper Kupp added to this by saying, "He was pretty special." This preseason performance plus his play in Rams camp helped him secure a roster spot. And as we know, a small opportunity to prove what he's capable of was the only thing Puka needed. Because since week 1 of this NFL season, this 22-year-old 5th round pick that was projected to be an average backup and lacks the twitch or speed to attack NFL coverage, has taken the league by storm. In his first NFL game, he caught 10 passes for 119 yards in LA's win over the Seahawks. In week 2 versus the 49ers, he broke the record for most receptions in a game by a rookie with 15 to go along with 149 yards receiving. This also made him the first player ever to record 10-plus catches with 100-plus receiving yards in each of his first 2 career games. His 25 receptions over his first 2 games were also a rookie record. In week 3, the Rams offense was stagnant in their Monday Night Football loss, though Puka still caught 5 passes for 72 yards. Which brings us to week 4, where he certainly made up for it and had the best game of his NFL career so far. In this game, he caught 9 more passes for 163 yards and finally got his first NFL touchdown. A touchdown which, by the way, came in overtime, giving the Rams the walk-off win over the Colts. Puka's 39 receptions and 501 receiving yards are both the most ever by a player in their first 4 career games. His 39 catches leads the entire NFL so far this season, while his 501 receiving yards trails only Justin Jefferson for the most in the league. Puka is the first player in the Super Bowl era to record 100 plus receiving yards in 3 of their first 4 games. He currently has the 3rd highest odds to win Offensive Rookie of the Year behind Bijan Robinson and CJ Stroud. I mentioned earlier in the video that everyone loves an underdog, and NFL fans across the country have certainly proven that to be true, because as of 2 days ago, Puka Nacua jerseys are completely sold out on NFL Shop. So I think it's safe to say he is quite the fan favorite. With Cooper Kupp coming back from an injury in Week 5, it wouldn't be surprising to see Puka's numbers take a slight hit, but that doesn't mean what he's done these first 4 weeks should go unrecognized. At the very least, even if he never catches another pass in the NFL, these 4 games will still go in the history books and be considered by many as one of the greatest Linsanity runs in football history. Fortunately for us, there is still more to come. A player that was doubted by scouts and considered lucky if he made an NFL roster has emerged as one of the best players in the league. He is a player that defied the odds, and regardless of how the rest of his career plays out, as of October 2023, we can officially say that we are all witnesses to the unlikely rise of Puka Nacua. Do you think Puka Nacua will win Offensive Rookie of the Year? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to be making NFL content like this all season long, so do not miss out. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.